Hi everybody, today I'm going to talk to someone who I believe has made really interesting life choices. He has done his BTech from BITS Pilani. He's completed BTech in E department year 2018, worked in Goldman Sachs for 3 years, and then finally decided to prepare for GATE from CSE and got AIR 3 and currently pursuing his Masters in Research from IISc Bangalore. So let's hear from himself what is his journey all about. Hi Ayush.
Hello, Sneha.
How are you?
I'm good.
So today I'm gonna ask you a few questions because you have made this transition from one department to another department. You have done BTech in E department. Now you are doing MTech in CSA, that too research. So I have a few questions in my mind. My first question is, you have done your BTech from E.
Yes.
Then you did GATE in CSE.
Yes.
So how tough it was for you to prepare for GATE CSE?
I mean, electronics and CS have a lot of subjects in common. Like digital design, I think we study more extensively.
Yeah.
Right. And maths is almost common in all engineering disciplines. And so in my BTech, I had taken courses, electives in operating systems,
Okay.
discrete maths,
Okay.
and I knew data structures because I was working in a software company.
Yes.
So those were easy to grasp. Yeah. So that way is like you have 50% coverage, which is a good thing, luckily for electronics people.
Yeah. So how did you manage your work in Goldman Sachs for 3 years
Yeah.
and prepared while working?
Yeah.
So which is insane. I can't believe.
Yeah, that-
like how did you do it?
That
And-
is
yeah.
lucky for me because of the coronavirus, I was at home,
Yeah.
and so I had time on my hands. Like if you're working and you're going to the office, in Bangalore you spend 2 hours anyway, like from going from work to.
Okay.
So if you can take those and add a few more hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, so luckily coronavirus was there and I had extra time. I didn't have to worry about dinner and all. So
Yes. So in
It worked
weekend
out.
you had some time.
I had time on weekend and on weekdays
Yes.
because of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in weekdays, how much time did you give?
2 to 3 hours. Because as I said, right, some of the courses were common. I gave 2 to 3 hours. But I mean that depends on
Yeah.
on your
Yes.
I-
For sure, and 2 to 3 hours, and then AR 3. Yeah.
So the thing is, that's that's my recommendation to anybody that I knew when I started my preparation. I realized what were the subjects that will take time. I looked at the syllabus, I solved a few questions, and 2 to 3 hours worked out fine for me. But then it's up to that person. Like hours is not a good measure to.
Yeah.
Like for some people, for some people who they might sit for 4 hours, but they might only study for 2 hours, right?
Yeah. I
So-
used to sit for 6 hours. So yeah, that is different for different people.
Yeah, and so because I had pressure, right, like I have to start work and I had something on the back of my mind that I have to start working
Yeah.
in 1 hour, that actually added that extra push that you have to do 2 hours today.
Yeah. So if you can give us any idea how many months it took you to prepare for GATE CSE?
I started in July,
In July.
Yeah.
Okay.
and I
Like
just,
before that, you had no resources in hand.
no,
to
I
apply.
decided that I'll give GATE in May end.
Okay.
Then I started looking for some resources. I
Yeah.
found an online course
Okay.
and that applied GATE course.
Yeah.
And then I started preparation.
Yeah. So that was my good next question actually. What recommend some good resources like.
Yeah.
Mm,
So I mean, just for working professions, not for everybody. Like because it's not possible to study from textbook if you are working,
Yes.
right? Again, it's important that you know what is doable.
Yeah.
Studying from textbook is not doable for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know a lot about other courses.
Yes.
Like applied course is decent,
Yes.
right? And there are some other courses as well. Pick one course.
Okay.
Pick one course. Stick to it. Complete that course. You might feel that like it's not good or something, but still finish that course completely. And on the side, you like for the subjects that you feel you're lagging behind or you don't understand, refer to some other resource.
Yeah.
But it's important to have some kind of a structure, especially like because you don't have time. So at least if you know, like if you're doing some online course, you know that these are the total hours that I need to watch.
Yes.
that gives you a good estimate. Like okay, 50 घंटे देखने हैं and 2 हफ्ते में रोज 2 घंटे देखूंगा तो कितना होगा?
Yeah, if you have good resources in hand, so it's on you in how much time you can cover all that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good resource, a structured resource is good because it tells you how much time is needed, which is very hard to estimate if you're doing from a textbook, right?
Okay. So I think this question we get asked a lot of time, that how many test series are enough? Like, what do you think about it?
Yeah. How many test series are enough?
Like, yeah, when an average student should give. Like, what is the importance of test series?
Test series are important, no doubt.
Yeah.
But then you need to prioritize, like, because again, if you have less time, you'll have to trade off between completing the syllabus, the revision.
Yeah, you had a very close window of 6
Yeah.
months.
And it got even closer towards the end because I was scared that I won't be able to finish the syllabus.
Oh, yeah.
I finished my syllabus in like around December,
Okay.
November and
Yes.
December.
Yes.
So and after that I started my revision. So again, anyone who has less time will have that trade-off, that you either do the course, finish the course, do revision, or give test series.
Yeah.
So my strategy was that I gave test series. Instead of giving a lot of test series, I gave one test series, I analyzed it, and give good test series, like
Yes.
that's also important.
Yes.
And I used that for revision. Like,
Okay.
so if I wasn't doing well in one subject, I knew that I have to revise this.
Yes. Yeah, that is a good strategy. If you are not comfortable in any subject,
Yeah.
revise it for whole day and then give the subject-wise test series for that. You might get comfortable on it if you get good marks. So that's one strategy. And my another question would be that what are some good test series you would like?
So I mean I bought the applied gate course, so I had that test series, and the one test series that I definitely recommend is Gate Overflow test series.
Gate Overflow, yeah.
I don't think it's that famous.
And I think yes, and I think the day before the exam, I have courageously given that test series because it's very scary if you get less marks a day before the exam. And I didn't get good marks in that. But what happened is one literally same question. Like I haven't done that question before.
Yeah.
And that question came in GATE exam, so I was really happy about it. GATE Overflow.
Yeah. I think like they base their. I mean, I think the questions are also copied. Oh yeah, that's the thing, right? So like people solve past year questions, right?
Yes, yes.
It's very important for
Yes.
GATE. So GATE Overflow test series actually either directly copies those questions
Yes.
or just like changes the numerical numbers and all. I think so. So I didn't have to do past year questions because that test series covered almost all kinds of questions that have come in GATE. That's why they were a bit hard because like they covered 1980s and 90s questions were harder,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So, but like it's a good thing. Like GATE Overflow, don't get disheartened by the low marks. but it's
Yeah,
good.
GATE Overflow was my go-to site. I mean, every
Yeah.
PYQ question I'll look for, I'll go search there and read the discussion. You will find many useful things over there. So, being from EE department,
Yes.
then you switched to CSE,
Yeah.
got AIR 3. My question to you is, did you find any subject harder to study?
Yeah, the ones that are not common, first of all.
Yeah.
Like, so my worst nightmare was networking.
Okay.
Okay, so in networking, the syllabus is not limited.
Yes, yes.
Like even if you prepare through some resource, you prepare the whole thing,
Yeah,
there'll be some question that you never see.
Yeah.
Because there'll be some new concept.
yeah.
So yeah, networking, and then you have to remember a lot in networking. Apart from that, so there were subjects that I had to study from scratch, like TOC, databases and all. But yeah, I mean, so TOC is interesting, so that's fine. Databases is also.
POC is if you find a good teacher, like if you find good resources,
Yeah.
and you can find it interesting.
Actually, the thing is like some people might find networking interesting,
Yeah.
and they end up doing research in networking.
Yes.
I find TOC interesting, but that may not be the case for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. So and tell us your comfort zone, like.
My
Yeah.
comfort zone. My comfort zone is maths.
Yeah.
Maths and Algo and maths.
Yeah.
That's
So networking has numerical questions which were like very like maths were not that tough, but
Yeah.
formulas were there
Yeah,
that
exactly.
you had to remember. So
things that you have to
Yeah.
remember, then I personally tend to lose confidence because I just feel that that formula is wrong.
yeah. I understand. So I think when I was preparing for GATE, some of my seniors had recommended me if I want to drop a subject, it can be like COA because you know the subject is vast and marks are limited.
Yeah.
So he suggested me. So is there any subject if you want to suggest like one can drop and good?
Okay, so first
Get good marks.
of all, don't drop a subject.
Okay.
Because I think like there's a pattern, right? That some years some subjects are easier, some years some other subjects are easier.
Yes.
Right. So if you're like bad luck and you end up leaving that subject,
Yes.
right? So at least you should be able to solve all the easy questions in the
Yes.
exam. Like
Yes.
you should
Yes.
you
That
should
is
aim for that. So don't drop a subject. Like sacrifice something else. Sacrifice
Yes.
test series maybe, but don't drop any subject.
Okay.
You can drop some topics in a subject.
I got it completely. Like in computer architecture, for my first time when I gave
Yeah.
GATE, that time I knew कि these are some topics from which like memory, cache and memory structure. From there, so many questions come. So I just covered that part. So I was lucky to get at least one question from that part. So yeah, that is the case. That don't
Yeah.
drop the whole subject. You can go through PYQs and you can find some questions you might are aware of, like the subject. So
Yeah, and so like in databases, I think so normalization, right? What was that like after? Like no, like they tend to teach you a lot. Sometimes they go out beyond the syllabus, right? So like if you find that like if you've taken some course, you'll see that a lot of courses teach you some extra stuff as well.
Yeah.
So keep the syllabus with you always.
Yes.
Right? And
Yes.
if you find that okay, this subject I don't want to do it that well, just do the topics that's written. Yeah. Instead of dropping the whole subject, just selectively do the topics that are important, but don't drop.
Okay. So as you had your job in hand
Yeah.
and you are preparing side-wise, so did you feel any kind of stress all that while?
It worked out well for me because I wasn't stressed because like my plan B was
Yeah.
continue the same job. But I would say like at least for working professionals, I mean don't get stressed, right? Like that's true for anybody. Don't get stressed. But then you need to like have a plan B always. Like especially like if you're preparing for GATE. Don't just bang on one exam that okay ये हुआ तो हुआ नहीं तो मैं गया. I know people who had like a plan B and they end up doing well.
Yes. So like I said, you didn't have stress at the time of GATE preparation, but you would have those instances when you will face stress, right? So what will your suggestion be for stress management?
It's not like I didn't have stress. Okay? I had stress. So I would maybe like I think that I guess exercise like maintain your mental and physical health. Like don't sacrifice that.
And I know that you believe in spirituality, right?
Yeah, okay, yes.
So do you?
So I consider spirituality as a form of meditation, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to be a Christian monk or something. Yeah, I'm saying that make sure that you're mentally and physically fit. Like if you're feeling that if you're feeling burnt out, right? That happens a lot of people, and not just like for any competitive exam.
Yeah.
Don't get burnt out because see the journey after you join the college, that's going to be much harder.
Yeah.
So if you burn yourself out while preparing, that won't be good.
Yeah. Trust me, preparing for something is really easy. After that, what's gonna come?
Yeah.
I wanna ask you a lot of questions, but one question that is in my mind right now is that you have worked in Goldman for 3 years, right? The salary must have been good. So what made you decide to jump into this research world?
I was always interested in research. At least that's what I thought. BTech you don't get a lot of research exposure, so it's hard to like commit to research. I mean, for me at least. So I was sure I wouldn't be able to do a PhD.
Okay.
I mean, it was a too big a commitment for
Yeah.
me. So yeah, so I was interested in research, and again, like after 3 years working, you get a decent idea of the software scene, and then MTech. I mean, I anyway was going to do masters.
Yeah.
Now the question for me was whether I should do it from India or from abroad.
Yeah.
And I chose India because I didn't get like good programs outside firstly, and then in India masters is like pretty free, you know, it's
Yeah.
free, almost.
Yeah.
And then it's a very low risk choice,
Mm.
because like if you're worked, if you're in software, you know that you can go back to it,
Yeah.
and then you're almost taking a 2 year break. You're exploring, you're finding out what you like,
Yeah.
and if I don't like this, I can go back to software.
Yeah. True. So, my question to you is now that most of the people, most of the students, I believe, are not aware of this research program, MTech
Yeah.
research.
Yeah.
Like, they all are aware of MTech in CSA,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
2 years, but and I have seen that most of the higher ranker don't opt for MTech research. They go for MTech CSA one. So, so would you give us any idea about what this research program is
Yeah,
all about?
definitely. So MTech research is a really good program in my opinion, because again, as I told you, right? So in MTech programs, what you're doing, you have a lot of coursework. The research program is mostly about giving you a good flavor of research, a decent flavor. You have to write a thesis in 2 years. In the first semester, you have to do a few courses, and then you need to find an advisor. Oh yeah, and before that, firstly you need to choose a stream. So if you are like kind of sure of what you want to do in your masters, like we have 3 streams here. One is intelligent systems, the second is systems. Systems means like all the networking and operating systems, all that, and the third is theory, algorithms now.
Yeah.
So if you're sure on that, then you have to decide that stream, and then in first semester you choose courses accordingly.
When you take admission, there's an interview process also,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So at that time you have to decide what
Yes,
you want
at
to
that.
pursue.
Depending on the stream you choose, your interviewers will give you the subjects. Like,
Yeah.
you have to, if you choose theory, you have to prepare data structures and all that. If you choose
So
intelligence systems,
also, what is the prerequisite for that? Like, if a decent BTech student is coming for an interview.
again, like, so that's what I was saying, right? So intelligence systems, you need to know linear. They give you a proper syllabus
Okay.
that you need to study linear algebra and probability.
Okay.
For theory, you need to study this is this subject.
Okay.
Systems, you need to study this is this.
Okay.
Right? So that's one way to know. Like
Yes.
if you like linear algebra, probability, maths,
Yes.
maybe intelligence systems is for you.
Yes.
If you don't like it, then maybe you can try systems.
Okay. Okay. So you said you have to write a thesis in 2 years window.
Yeah, it's a flexible program.
Okay.
So depending, so this is how it goes. First semester you come on campus.
Yeah.
The total credit requirements is less than MTech. Right? You
Okay.
guys have to do 4 courses.
Yes. Yes.
We had to do 3.
But also there is something like you have to do 7 CGPA in first
Yeah,
semester,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Otherwise you will get expelled, something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure how strict that rule is.
Okay.
But a good CGPA is expected from a research student. It's true for PhD as well.
Okay.
MTech is not, that's
Yeah,
not the
yeah.
case.
Yeah. MTech research is for someone who is very sure and particular about where you
Yeah.
know about his research work.
Yeah, also if you want to really like, again for working professionals, right? If your main aim is to explore research and just like explore this domain of academia, this is a very good program, because again you're not committing to a PhD.
Yeah.
You get a decent research exposure.
Yeah.
Again, I'll be able to comment better on this once I have been through the
Yeah,
research
yeah.
thing. Maybe we can do that.
Yeah.
We'll have an interview then.
Yeah.
But right now, from what I've understood speaking to the seniors, it's a decent program for that. The thing is, it's almost like a PhD, because here also you have to find an advisor. Then you discuss your research topic with the advisor. You take courses according to the research topic you've chosen. And then you start your research. You have to, if you could do good research, you'll probably get a few publications out of it. Then you have to write a thesis. And just like PhD, the duration is flexible depending on how soon you're able to finish the thesis.
Okay, so now that you have jumped into this research thing, so where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I don't I don't like answering that question, because like I mean knowing the where you will be in 5 years is a pretty disappointing thing, right? Like, if I tell you that you'll be doing exactly this in 5 years, then will you look forward to it? Unless,
you lose all the excitement. Is that what you mean?
yeah, I mean, see, if someone tells me that in 5 years we'll be a billionaire, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's a good thing to know. But then you have to make realistic choices.
Yes.
Okay, now if you're making a realistic choice and you're saying that in 5 years I'll be a manager in a company and I'll be leading a team of 4 people, I don't like that. I don't like that game, and I don't want to have that kind of a goal. It,
Yeah.
Again, if you are saying that in 5 years I want to have at least one best publication award or something,
Yeah.
I want to have a good startup, that's a good aim,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Either your 5 year down the line aim should be unreasonable, not practical, because then you'll do stuff that are risky and all that.
Okay.
Or don't have a 5 year down the line plan. Like have a goal, like you want to study and then just study.
Okay, because there are some people I believe who might love the idea of certainty. Like they
Yeah.
want to believe that they have all the idea about what they gonna do next day, next
Yeah,
month.
they want to settle.
They want to plan everything.
They want to
And
settle.
then there are some people like Ayush who don't like the idea of certainty.
I don't like the word, the idea of, like, people say that by 30 you should be settled.
Yeah.
But the word settled itself has negative connotation, right?
Tell me about it.
Like, why do you want to settle?
Yeah.
Settle word itself
Yeah,
is
settle. Yeah, if I can.
settle down.
Yeah.
Again, like, it has
Get
settled.
satisfied with it. Whatever you're getting by the age of 30, get satisfied with it and get settled, right?
And like in IISc, you'll find a lot of people who are who have started research in their late 30s, and they're doing pretty well, like really well.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, like if you think like again that's one source for stress, right?
Yeah.
Like you're losing your years, you have to get
Yeah.
into an MTech as soon as
Yeah.
possible. You don't have to. You can do MTech later.
Yeah.
There's no rule that you have to do it by 30 or
Yeah.
whatever.
Completely agree.
But don't settle there. Don't settle. I don't like this settle down business.
So talking to Ayush is always, a joy because he gives a lot of these practical advices, philosophical advices. So it was great talking to you, Ayush.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for talking.
Thank you for
to me.
interviewing me.
So until next time,
I feel like.
when you would have published a lot of research and
Fingers crossed for that.
yeah. So all the best to you for your future. Bye.